Yeah, I haven't listened to ASMR in a while, actually. I've been so in the habit of going to sleep to podcasts. Oh, really? Yeah. It's probably good. It means we're thriving. I feel like ASMR like helps like, with like anxiety and stuff.
How do you know you Yeah, I still don't think I've ever, I mean, besides a little bit maybe that you've posted, I don't think I haven't like sat down and like explored.
There's so
ASMR.
many types. Yeah, like there's a lot to it for sure.
And is it mainly just supposed to be kind of a repetitive noise, or is there like a agreed upon definition?
There's a lot of like role playing of like, hi, I'm your doctor and we're gonna like do an eye test or something, where it's like a little plot.
But what about that makes that ASMR then?
Because you're just saying like you're talking
voice.
softly,
relaxing, calm voice.
Yeah, because some of it is it's like a subgenre like personal attention ASMR.
But then as far as like, so say it's like a noise, like a rapping noise or something, is it any noise, or is there like something that makes it ASMR?
It just has to be specifically designed to be like pleasant to listen to, but that depends on the listener.
Yeah. Okay. I still intend to like give it a go on like trying to like create something, but I need to understand the genre.
Well, I have that ASMR intro playlist on YouTube.
Maybe you can just pull him a few clips or something to give him a quick rundown.
Maybe after we're done recording this, if there's still a little bit of time and that's still set up, then we can do.
There we go. That'd be fun. I'm down for that.
Did you have something?
Oh, I didn't know if we were waiting for Brian to come back. Oh, he's right
No,
there. Oh
yeah.
my God, I literally thought, okay, my bad. Okay, I have a question. I think we're all going to agree on this topic, but I don't know, there could be a surprise here. But I think a lot of society will disagree with this. So I want to know everyone's opinions on drive-through pay-it-forward chains. So like, you get up, I knew we would all agree on this.
Did you make the same face? Yeah.
Yes! This is my people!
Yeah.
They're so fucking stupid.
What's the point?
It's not a good deed. Everyone's paying for something except for the last person. And it makes the drive-through employee's job harder. And yeah, it's happened to me once. It was at the Starbucks right by my house. And it was so satisfying to be like, oh, really? Oh, that's great. Thank you. And I grabbed my drink and drove away. It's just, they're stupid and performative.
Yes. Sorry, that's not going to get you much conversation. Unless
Adam,
you can be
I agree, but then how do you feel about like white elephant parties or Secret Santa things where somebody always shows up with a gift that's more expensive than everybody else? Like, does that bother you as much, or have you ever been in that scenario? Because I definitely...
I would say that bothers me differently.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was thinking too.
Not the same thing, but also annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a different type. Yeah, because the pay it forward thing, yeah, it's like the intention of people is like, but with the white elephant one, it's not always someone pulling a Michael Scott where they're trying to just like get the most credit. Sometimes it's like they just weren't paying attention to the price tag or something.
Yeah, but it's more like whoever goes last is automatically going to take the most expensive thing that's
True.
there.
But do they not, so
Do
that
they-
they're not the person who does it?
No, they do. But yeah, like, I don't know. I haven't been to that many such Secret Santa parties, being Jewish and all, but like the ones that I have been to, or the Hanukkah equivalents that I've been to, like, I feel like I've never been in a drive-through pay-it-forward scenario myself. I feel like they would be a very similar level of annoyance to me personally, and that I think would maybe not be common opinion amongst this
Would
group.
you do the same thing Savannah did?
Leave automatically? No, I feel like I'd have to.
You'd continue the chain?
I feel like I continue the chain.
Okay, but you two would
I mean,
not.
Well, I don't know if I would or would. It's just so dumb. Like, I don't get the point of it, because you're not doing anything at that. It just becomes this like lottery of who's got more expensive orders, and like it just, you're not helping somebody.
Yeah.
I could see some other, you like pay for someone's groceries or some, and then leave, or like something where it's just like a one finite, I do something nice for you, or like a mechanism where you like bought someone's drink but didn't create this endless chain of annoyance.
Yeah, you're standing in line in front of a mom who's shuffling through her bag and you hear her like struggling to find her car, like whatever. But yeah, if you're just continuing this pointless chain. Okay, Adam, so you're talking about the most expensive gift at Secret Santa. You haven't been to that many. Have you experienced that though at any of the ones that you have been to? Because I gotta say, any white elephant Secret Santa I've been to, I think the only experience I've had is maybe there's like one or two that are like a little extra shitty. But I don't think I've ever been to one where there's like one really good one that everyone wants.
I don't think I've ever been to one where it's like the good one is so much better than everything else. But yeah, I've been to ones where it's like 10 out of the 11 gifts are valued at maybe $10 or less, and then there's one that's like $50 or like a $25 gift card to something or something along those lines that is clearly the most valuable item there. And yes, of course, whoever has a chance to take it will.
And is
we'll
there
take
ever
it.
any shaming of like, you didn't follow the $10 budget? Or is it just like people just kind of ignore it?
People ignore it.
Interesting. I feel like with our family, there would be a lot of giving shit if something like that happened.
Oh.
Like, we had specific rules, specific instructions. Like, I can imagine that that wouldn't fly.
Yeah,
I mean, we'd still go with it, but
This is along the same line. It's much more specific, but it annoys the shit out of me, and this reminded me of it. When people are trying to like be nice, but you're just annoying. A 4-way stop when someone is clearly there in front of you, and they think they're being, especially like if it's not just the two of you, and it's like and they're like, "Oh no, you go ahead." And I was like, "No, you just ruined the whole fabric of civilization."
There are rules that we all follow, and that makes it go smoothly.
Yeah, that one gets me.
yeah. And then people are confused and don't know. And yeah, someone new comes up from on your right side and doesn't know what the order is or what's going
Yeah.
on.
And it's not helping, like, it's not like a generous thing for me to like go 2 seconds earlier. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like, you know, if you're in line at the supermarket and you have 2 items and they have a cart and they're like, "Oh, go ahead." That totally makes sense. So unless this person's
It all
got,
comes
like,
back to groceries, I guess.
I guess so.
it is kind of funny. I think that's the only place you can have pure generosity and altruism is in the grocery line. Anywhere else, it gets muddled.
And this experience we all have. We all buy groceries. So that's probably another one where it's just, you whip that out as an example. But also, I feel like whether it's stop signs, grocery line, it's like
Stop signs, grocery line.
Give a dog a bone.
like it's like you can only make a choice like that if there's no one behind you. Yeah, it's like you can't screw over someone else who's not making that choice to let someone cut. You know, it's like just because you have 2 items, like what if the person behind you has 12 and they try to let someone cut 2 spots? I mean, I wouldn't say anything
Well,
if
no,
I
you
was.
can't cut 2. Now you're talking about something totally different.
All right, so yeah, this did happen to me at the store the other day. I was in a line, maybe like 5 people long, and somebody asked to take cuts, and we're
What?
kind of reluctantly like put in line. Now, I, being in line, decided not to say anything because don't want to like start something, but no, I think that happens, and I definitely like.
But that's the person
wonder.
who wants to cut, like trying to cut. That's not like
The
someone
person-
at the front of the
yeah,
line
the-
looking to the
yeah.
back and like,
Oh, no, yeah.
Cut everyone, come up
yeah,
here.
but no, yeah,
That's what I
but-
think doesn't
yeah.
happen. Which is what you
Oh,
said,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I guess I was just picturing like one person behind you or something. You're right. It
That
doesn't
would be
happen.
messed
It's a
up if
made-up
someone
scenario.
like looks back behind. It's like, hey,
Fuck
you,
these guys.
cut both of us.
Now, where were you in the 5?
I
Adam?
think I was 4th out of 5 at that time. I was toward the back.
And someone,
So-
they like asked the 5th
They
person.
asked.
said yes.
Oh,
then
they only asked
you.
the. Oh no, I'm sorry. No. I thought you meant they asked. No, they only asked the first person if they could cut in front of them, and then the first person
That is
reluctantly
blasphemy.
agreed. Yeah.
How many items did they have?
I don't know, but I don't think they had a full shopping cart, so probably.
But they had
just
a cart?
They had a basket. Or, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, yeah, they may have
You
had.
shouldn't even have a basket. You should have like
were
one
they,
thing
like,
in your
in a
hand.
Literally like some medicine.
I don't think they were in a
Yeah,
hurry.
like bandages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they were in a hurry.
I'm
Yeah,
bleeding in my car. I gotta go.
I think they just wanted to skip the line. They may have been confused as to like where the line was, and it may have been like them reconciling their awkward confusion over it and then realizing after the fact that they had cut line, but I don't think that was the case. I think they
Do you
just
remember at all what they had? Any items?
I don't remember
I
specifically.
feel like there's some items, like Pepto-Bismol maybe, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. You might have just done us all a favor by skipping ahead.
Yeah. But I mean, what do you do if you're the first person in line? Like, do you like say, go ask everyone behind me,
That's
and
a
if
good
it's okay with
question.
them? I mean, like, it's such an awkward scenario to be put in
Yeah, if
in
you're
the first
first.
place.
Yeah,
Like,
if you're
I don't.
second, third, fourth,
yeah,
you just ignore it.
I don't. The only person I blame in this scenario is the person
The
who
asker.
asked in the first place. If you're like behind the first person in line and they're cutting you, but you speak up, like, I mean, you have every right to, but by the same token, I feel like you also are like not.
Like choose your
Yeah,
battles.
exactly.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
but
trying
that
to-
first person in line, I feel bad for the first
Oh,
person
yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can't really say no, but you
Yeah.
say like
Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine myself. Okay, you say that, but what I was thinking is, I mean, obviously it depends. If they're looking disheveled and panicked or something, like it's-
Yeah.
But I feel like if someone said, "Hey, mind if I cut you?" I'd say, "Oh, well, there's me and 4 other people behind me, so you should probably just go to the back." I think I would do that.
That's how people get shanked.
I live in Kirkland, the chances are lower of me getting shanked at the
Juanita.
True. But I think if I was asked, I think I would be that asshole to be like, no, you can't. Like, why are you asking me unless I don't have, you're giving me the agency to say no, so I'm going to say no.
I'd like to say I would probably be so confused by why I'm being asked in the first place, though.
Yeah, I was
just
I
like,
feel like I would
okay.
just, okay.
Yeah, I would just probably freeze up and say yes, and then feel.
Yeah.
I'd probably just leave my groceries there and walk away. I can't
Go
win
to
this scenario.
QFC across the, yeah. But no, I would definitely not complain if I was 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. I would just bitch about it to you guys after or something.
What are you picturing this person looking like? Because I'm picturing like an older, not old, like maybe Eric's age. Just kidding. Like
I was picturing a man.
60-year-old woman,
Oh,
like
I would,
mom. I guess.
No, I think if it was an old lady like 80s, I would say yes. But any younger, I don't know.
But I'm just saying, like I want to hear.
That's
what,
a good question because I don't know if I had a specific person in mind, and I definitely was fluctuating on like what would be more okay. Like the disheveled. Like, do I feel like there's a story here, or is it just like an entitled? Because there's definitely the like. Not to overuse the word Karen, but there's like a certain
Yes.
that looks is like, oh, this line's too long. My day
I
is so much
think
more
so.
important. Than
Yeah.
yours.
I would definitely let someone cut in front of me in airport security because it's like if they're in a rush, their flight's probably soon. I always give myself enough time. So
on our
I've been
way
that
to our
person once.
honeymoon, that happened.
Yeah,
to us.
twice.
you had to ask to cut?
no, they kind of whisked us.
We didn't realize
We didn't
that
realize-
we were that
yeah.
late. They were like, "You gotta go here, go to the front."
Yeah.
Like, oh shit.
And we weren't like. I have been that person once solo at the airline who had to ask to cut because I literally was going to miss my flight if I had to wait as long as the line was, and everything worked out fine. I got to my flight like. No, I think I was the last person before it took off.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, no, they did like when we got in we got in the line on our own for security checks, and then somebody came and got us, and like you need to come to the the TSA pre-check line just to make sure that.
Okay.
just to
Do any
get
of you
over
have
time.
TSA pre-check?
no, I like never fly.
Okay. So you don't know the worst thing that can possibly happen to a person is you have TSA pre-check and you get there and there's no line in the normal security. It feels like such a waste. It's so devastating. It never happens at SeaTac. I mean, SeaTac, you're guaranteed an hour-long normal line, and then you can feel awesome about pre-check. But most other airports, there's like no line anywhere. And like I've had it before where I like watched, and my pre-check was slower than like the normal line.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, try to get in a good mood for the rest of the day after that happens too. It's tragedy.
Yeah, you like literally paid to wait in a longer line than people. Yeah, that would get me in a bad mood for sure.
Yeah, no, but when there is a long line, it feels
I feel like
so
a celebrity a little bit. I
Good.
feel
I mean,
like.
just keeping your shoes on is kind of nice to begin with. but-
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that reason alone, I feel like Madison would want to get pre-check.
When I flew first class, I got to get in a special line, and it was amazing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That is nice. Yeah, I always fly in Birkenstock, so but I always
With-
wear socks.
Okay. Whew.
Don't you worry. Always got the socks.
Ooh, I did my first Birkenstock because I am not the person who would do that on a flight. But I'm like, I will be so much more comfortable on a 6-hour flight if I just have socks and I did it and it was amazing.
Right?
Sounds nice.
It's
Yeah.
the okay. I want to know what about it were you against before?
Because it's kind of a social faux pas, I feel like.
Got it. Okay. Because
Yeah.
I don't just fly with socks and Birkenstocks. I live my regular life with socks and Birkenstocks.
Yeah,
You're going to
yeah, and I
weddings
see plenty of
and,
people in line that
work.
just have like bare feet and like have all kinds. So it's not like that out of the ordinary.
So I look just as gross as someone walking in a store with bare feet.
I don't care about other people doing it. I'm just
Yeah.
conscious of like
Yeah.
I don't want to be sitting there next to someone who's just like the whole flight like I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
the same
get
reason
that.
I would let anyone cut in line anytime, anywhere. It's just that like social, not even like confrontation, but like that social. Is someone thinking something weird right now? Which is obviously something I shouldn't care about, but.
No, I totally get that. Or yeah, it's like I'm always trying to just give someone as much room as possible. I'm like, I'm in the boundary of my seat. Like I'm doing nothing wrong, but I still feel like it's my responsibility to like.
I don't even use half of my seat when I'm like sitting next to someone, and that's why I always get an aisle, and I'm hanging out in the aisle, and I'm always like watching to make sure that the cart's not coming because I don't want to be in the way of the cart. And so then when the cart comes, I gotta like turn sideways, so I'm not touching this person. I'm not in the way of the cart. Yeah.
Yeah, my shoulders are just permanently in like this
I'm so
shape.
sore when I'm done because I'm just like this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I am so shocked that like 90% of the time though, I am legitimately sitting next to someone who has no problem fully taking the full armrest, their thighs hanging over in my area. So, I have to compensate for other people because if we all were just like, this is my area and I'm in it, but the world needs people who give up some of their area for all the people who take up more of their area.
Now, I agree with you on the thigh thing. Like, yeah, stay in your lane. But I think middle seat deserves both armrests. So I don't see a problem with the person next to me fully armresting it up.
Both armrests?
Yeah, because they're in the middle seat. I mean, they're not taking both of mine. They're taking one of mine and one of
just reaching across.
No, the window seat person has an armrest too.
But the window seat person like has they can kind of lean to the window,
Okay.
and then the middle person can like I don't just.
But I have my aisle armrest, so why do I deserve two? But the middle
guess.
person deserves just one on their right.
Yes. Well, they didn't work hard enough to not have a middle seat.
Right?
I
Buy
will
your ticket
move
sooner.
heavens and earth not to have a middle seat.
Yeah,
Ever.
it gives me anxiety for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. Even a window, I don't like.
Same.
Because the entire flight, I'm just, do I have to go to the bathroom? I have to go to the bathroom. No, I should wait. No, if I go now, then I'll have to go again, and then they'll be like, why is this guy going to the bathroom so much?
And if the person is asleep, I mean, even if they're just resting their eyes, I don't want to tap them and ask them to get up. I know it's okay to do that, but like...
If I'm with people I know, I don't care where I'm sitting.
Agreed.
But flying solo, it's aisle or die.
But also, like, flying with people I know, I used to be like, oh, yeah, like, we're going on a trip, like, let's be 3 in a row. Now, I love, it's like, we're all getting aisle seats wherever we can find them. We don't need to be by each other. I'll see you when we get there. I'm pretty pro that. I mean, obviously, if you were flying with your family, I feel like that's different. But, like, when I'm just with my friends, it's like, I don't need to see you during this flight.
I disagree.
Yeah, I feel like I got a lot of blank stares during that. Yeah. What's wrong with that?
I mean, I get, like, the luxury of having a little time to yourself on the plane, but also, all right, well, are you also, like, having your own hotel rooms or staying together in the same?
No, I would be staying with people. But it's also, it's like, there's 6 of us and we're all texting. It's like, we're all buying our own tickets separately. So it's like the timing, I just feel like it's like, just buy a ticket and we'll see each other at the destination.
Sit next to strangers. It's
Yeah,
like
it's
such
a
a
long
wild
time,
card.
too.
See, okay, that is fair. When I flew to Hawaii, I definitely was by my friends. But most of the flights I've been on recently are like 2 hours or something. So I don't mind sitting by a stranger for 2 hours.
I've had 2 times recently where the middle seat was empty.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, man, that is a jackpot right there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When we flew to Europe, we had the whole row to ourselves. And
Yeah.
thank God it was like a 13-hour flight or something.
Yeah.
Straight? Like you weren't flying for 13 hours. You were on one flight for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
About
Whoa.
that. Yeah.
And I
was
didn't
long.
use the bathroom the entire time.
What? Oh my God, how dehydrated were you?
Probably very.
Oh my
I didn't
goodness.
want to. I was scared of it.
Oof.
I thought it would be gross.
I think in 13 hours, I would pee about 8 or 9 times.
I also
Not
didn't
on an airplane,
sleep.
but in life, yes.
Yeah. Now, I recently had to take a 10-hour flight to and from Europe for work, too. And because it was work booking, I ended up in the middle seat both ways. You better believe I, A, fought for both armrests. and B, I think I went to the restroom one time in each direction. Both, I'm very much middle ground here. I'm like Madison that I really, really don't want to unless I have to, but I also have to. But
I mean, by the end, I certainly had to, but, tough it out.
yeah,
Wow. That could never be me. toughing it out. Yeah, no way.
All right, I had a topic here, but as I wrote it, I realized I think we all would agree on this, and I feel like most people would. So I'll be shocked if we don't. And I've kind of heard this thrown out before, but if you had like a permanent, paid for staff person, and they could be a chef, personal trainer, masseuse, driver, someone who like schedules your appointments, whatever the thing in your life, and they're the gardener, but they have the one task. Like you can't give them different tasks. I feel like we would all say the same thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Should we say on a count of 3?
1,
2, 3.
Chef. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. See, I realized that's kind of dumb as I wrote it.
I don't think it's dumb
Not
though.
dumb.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's some people who like really love cooking or
True. Yeah. And we're
Yeah.
not those people apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of work and time too.
But so what's number 2 then? So you have
Okay.
the chef. What would be the second?
So what did the driver?
Well, it's whatever you can
Or
think
whatever
of.
you
I
can
just
think
came up
of.
with like driver, gardener, personal trainer, masseuse. I mean, it could be a manicurist,
just like a
pedicurist.
general assistant who will just like call and make appointments for me.
Yeah.
like,
So that like a
Yeah.
personal assistant,
Any-
account,
any-
scheduler.
You take that over
like
a masseuse?
they can transfer my 401k over to my new job because I still haven't done that.
Ah.
Anything like that. Or do
Yeah.
I need to be on the phone for that? It doesn't matter. I'll ask them.
They can pretend
But
to be you.
You take that over a masseuse?
Shit.
Oh yeah. Fuck, that's a hard one to pass.
I mean, I would.
Yeah,
but-
I would probably
Yeah,
do like a
yeah.
massage every other day. So yeah, I'd do that.
right? I just feel like
At
my
least a
quality
little
of
one.
life and like mental health would be really great if I got massages all the time.
So with the personal assistant, like I spend a lot of mental energy, like, oh, I've got this thing on Thursday, and I've got this, I better remember, I got to do that, blah blah blah. Do you think you'd be able to like if the person was always on top of stuff and would just let you know, hey, you got this thing, you're going here, hey, go get in that car, you go, like if someone was running your life, do you think you could let go of your schedule? Or you think you would
Good
still
question.
stress about like what was on your schedule and stuff?
I mean, if they showed that they did a good job.
Yeah, we're assuming all these people are like actually competent.
I think I could let it go, but I'm also too much of a control freak. Like, I don't know. It would probably start to bug me. Like, why are you up in my business,
Yeah.
even though that's your job? I don't know. And I like planning shit. Like, okay, I have to do this, this, and this. Like, well, I'm gonna be in town this day, so I'm gonna combine these two things.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe masseuse.
And I like doing last minute things too.
Oh.
Did you pick yet?
I haven't. I'm not picking masseuse because I'm not I don't get as much massage
Weirdo.
benefit as
Yeah, I don't think
they do. I feel like, I'm thinking something along the lines of like a secretarial work related.
Hey, I'll
Keeping
quit my
life.
job and I'll be your full time secretary
Deal.
in a second.
Savannah, did you have one?
Yeah. So, but I have a question first. Does this have to be my current circumstances, or could this be like down the road when I like have a house? Not like a dream life, just like when I have a bigger, not an apartment.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Okay, definitely housekeeper. I
I didn't throw that on there. I didn't think of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't
That's
really
a
want to
good-
say that. Yeah, because it's like having my space clean. It just like gives me a lot of peace in
Oh,
peace
yeah.
of mind, a lot of joy. It would really
And you just like walk around like you half done with a piece of cake, you throw it on the floor and be like, it's gonna be gone when I walk back.
I mean, that's a little extensive, but yes, in general, yeah, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, that is a good one. I didn't even think about that because I'm not like, I don't need like everything like dusted and polished all the time, like to that extent. But like, it's someone just putting things back in order. I think would be very
See,
nice.
I do like the back in order thing, but a big thing for me is like cleaning the baseboards. Like, I can do vacuuming, I can do basic stuff, but someone who's worrying about the details that I forget even exist. Or like, I hate cleaning my shower, stuff like that would be.
Especially if you end up having like.
And they take the hair out of my shower drain. Oh, that alone would be great. Oh, yeah.
You want someone that just
That's a
their only
separate job. What about like a doctor who you could just always go to
Ask all your
for
questions.
anything? Yeah, like I'm sick
Yeah.
or I'm having this recurring issue.
A plastic
or
surgeon. What are we gonna do today? Just take this in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a doctor would be good. I think I would do personal trainer though. I cannot
That's up
motivate
there for
myself
me.
to like
Yeah.
work out enough. And if I had
Yeah.
someone that's like, just tell me what to do, motivate me, I think it'd be so good for my health and everything. I think I gotta go with that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think I want
not
to
a
change my
problem
answer to
for
one
me.
of yours. I don't know which one.
The hair drain person.
The hair drainer versus the.
Yeah, because when we lived at home, my dad did it, and that it's just a really hard reality of.
Oh yeah, I do the.
you're the one who
I
does-
do the hair. Why is that?
'Cause you
Why
love
is it
your family.
No, I just don't like the thing getting backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like. I mean, I didn't like it getting backed up either, but I don't know.
Right, so why didn't
he
you
just
do
always
it?
did it because it was
'Cause
gross.
no one else did it.
Because it's gross,
Yes.
exactly.
Oh, that's so bad. Okay, this one's for Adam. Because as I was coming up with topics to talk about on this, I was thinking, I'll ask Adam about some sports stuff. But I have one particular sports question that's been bugging me for a couple years.
All right.
And I think I kind of know the answer, but I'd be curious your take on it. So I don't watch sports like pretty much at all, but like I exist in the world. You know, like I know who LeBron James is, and I know who I want to say Russell Wilson is, and like I know like some quarterbacks. I know some like NBA, you know, people and stuff like that. I could not name a single professional baseball player probably in the last since. Is Ichiro still play?
No.
So that's the last one, just because I'm Seattle and Ichiro's like everywhere. I knew Ichiro, and I feel like there was a period of time though, like even not watching it, you would hear about like some of the
Dan the Man.
Barry Bonds or like there would be like people. So is it just that baseball's stupid and no one likes it and watches it, or is there another reason why they don't like get celebrity the way that other sports do?
I feel like there's a combination of things. For one, yeah, baseball's like mainstream popularity has definitely been going down for a while now. It used to be bigger than football, and it's not even close to bigger than football. It's
Yeah.
probably third behind football, basketball. It's probably still above hockey, soccer. But yeah, no, there's definitely that factor. There is the fact that it's kind of a team game, but there's a lot of individual moments in it, like hitters and pitchers. So you'd think it wouldn't be that hard to market your
Right,
athletes. So part of it's that. So the best baseball player the last 10 years or so has been Mike Trout, who is just a really, really well-rounded player. Pretty much, he's already earmarked for the Hall of Fame, despite having about half his career potentially still ahead of him. He is one of the most like boring on purpose personalities that there is, and he's just impossible to market as like a celebrity and ambassador of the game.
And that's one thing I was wondering. Like I feel like
Yeah.
football and basketball are a little more like physical and lend
Yeah,
themselves to like brasher personality. Are they just more boring people?
I don't think so. I think there are plenty of people with, like, you watch their celebrations and stuff, and they're some of the as wild as any other group of people.
But I feel like they should be like tweeting something that gets like.
Oh, but they
like,
do.
That's
they
how
do.
I hear about
Like,
people.
Yeah, they do. I
no
know
one
that
cares.
as a Diamondbacks fan, we had Robbie Ray. He's now the Mariners star ace. He at some point either tweeted or made public something about kind of like believing the dinosaurs never existed, etc., like that.
Yeah, and I never heard of it. Like never heard of that guy.
I don't think most people.
The only person I've heard of, because this came out recently with his 700th home run, is
It's out.
Pujols.
Oh.
And but it's spelled like Puj.
Pojols.
Pujoles, you would think, right? Pujoles. If ever there was a name to go with the
There's
Spanish
not that
pronunciation,
It's not that either, though.
and I'm just seeing clip after clip, Pujols with those Pujols. And I'm like, okay, well now I know one baseball player because I'm never gonna forget that name.
Well, he's
I'm not
retiring at the end of the
either.
year, so you're going to be back to.
Adam,
Like,
I
sorry.
kind of have a theory / thought that I want to know. Like, I wonder if part of it is the fact that football, it's like, well, okay, basketball sort of maybe doesn't work with this theory, but football, there's the weekly game, and it's like lead up to it, and we have our star quarterback, and baseball, it's like we have a million pitchers, we have 6
so many
games a
games,
week,
yeah.
so I feel like it's just harder for there to be like a star of the team because we just need way more players for every position.
There's definitely an oversaturation of games compared to the other sports out there, but I don't think it's that hard for each team to have like a star or two, and for
Okay.
those stars to by and large remain the same from year to year. Like, obviously, some players are going to rise up and fall off in any sport, but I don't think in baseball there's a attrition rate for stars that's any different than, if anything, in football they have shorter careers in general. So in baseball, you're going to have some stars with longer careers.
Staying
Are they in like
power.
commercial? Because I remember back in the day, like Roger Clemens and like they were like stars and like cultural figures, and I don't feel like I'm just incidentally seeing baseball players anywhere.
They're in commercials, but they're selling auto insurance. Like they're not they're not doing the glamour products. Yeah, and like before you say like it's because baseball's a boring sport, which is definitely a theory you could throw out there. You all know a few golfers, like.
True.
Yeah, you know more golfers than you do baseball. You may not know more active golfers than you do active baseball players, but like as far as pop culture figures, like that's a far more boring sport than baseball.
I know one golfer.
Which one? Just kidding.
But yeah, you know one golfer. But if it weren't for me teaching you about Albert Pujols' existence, how many baseball players would you? Well, no.
And I swear, like a year ago, I could have told you like 3 golfer names. Now I'm blanking, and I can't think of anyone besides Tiger. But no, I do think you're right about that, though. In general,
yeah, but yeah, it is a kind of a boring sport. But then again, I think I think hockey's a super exciting sport.
I
Do you know a hockey player?
Hell yeah. No, not a
Unless
single
Wayne
one.
Gretzky happens to be still playing.
I do
Yeah.
like watching baseball, though, even though it's a little slow.
All right, that's a good transition because we asked for topics. We have a visiting scholar segment here, and you, Adam, said that you are the foremost expert on NHL and hockey. So
in the entire world.
And you're about to prove it. I have formulated. I can only come up with 4 damn questions about hockey after 7 hours of Googling.
Oh boy.
So, okay, this first one, there's a group trivia question that leads into it, though. Can any of you tell me what is unique or interesting about the names of WNBA teams?
I'll stay silent for a minute.
Yeah, I think.
Do you know the answer?
I don't know for sure, but I think I do.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to get this quite right, but I think it's just that it's like, instead of like, the Hawks or something, it's like a thing, like storm or like thunder or something. But I don't know how to say that
It's the
better.
same way of saying that is that 2/3 of them don't end with the letter S.
Right.
There we go.
Because
okay.
they're, the fever, the whatever it is. I don't
Yeah.
think that's a real one. But
I can tell you exactly how many NHL teams don't end in S because it just came up in pub trivia.
And that was my first question. So go ahead and tell us.
The answer is 4.
And what are they?
The Seattle Kraken, the Minnesota Wild, and the 2 teams that just squared off for the Stanley Cup final this past year, the Colorado Avalanche and the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Wow.
There was actually a lot more before I realized I was doing like a list of just like all the hockey teams in the world. I'm like, damn, there's a lot of them. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's a lot of teams. And I'm in some like Russian minor league thing or something. Like, all right, let me try this again. Okay. Since this is my third favorite podcast, you are going to answer questions about the third best or the third most in certain categories.
Ooh, okay.
So can you tell me who has scored the third most career goals in the NHL?
I think Wayne Gretzky's number 1, and I think Alex Ovechkin is number... Is he number 2 now? I don't know if he passed Gordie Howe, who I think is number 3. Oh, God. Or was it Mario Lemieux? I am... Okay, it's one of Ovechkin, Howe, or Lemieux, I'm pretty sure.
Wait, so what'd you go with?
I'm thinking it's one of Ovechkin, Howe, and Lemieux. I don't remember if Ovechkin... I think Ovechkin is on pace to pass...
Yeah, so if my question was name 3 people
name
who
who's
scored a
number
lot of
3
goals,
right
you
now.
just nailed it.
Yeah.
We need a final answer.
Okay. Gordie Howe.
Is number 2. Ovechkin is
Yes,
number 3.
number
That's pretty impressive, though,
That
that
was
you got
really
him. Yeah.
impressive to watch your thought process.
Yeah.
Okay. What team has won the third most Stanley Cups?
Okay. Montreal's definitely number 1.
Do you know what the Montreal team is named, Savannah?
No, does it have something to do with something I like or something?
Oh, yeah.
Giraffes.
Canadians.
Wow, a team name.
Okay, so all right, I'm gonna logic this out again. The thing about the NHL is that for a long time there were 6 teams, and they've added a bunch since, and a lot of those teams have won a few Stanley Cups, but of the original 6, like those 6 definitely have the most, except for the New York Rangers, who kind of were awful for most of that time. So there's no way that they're up there. I think the Toronto Maple Leafs are second and the Detroit Red Wings are third, but I could have those backwards. The Bruins and the Blackhawks are the other ones. I don't think they're up there. I'm gonna, oh god, because the Leafs won so many like so long ago, but they haven't won one in like 50 years. But they won a lot. The Red Wings have won more recently, but there's more teams that haven't won as many.
This is my life.
All right. I'm going to lock in Detroit Red Wings final answer.
Yes, you are correct.
All right.
Maple Leafs is number 2.
Nice.
Okay, final question, because this is all I could come up with on hockey. What country, nation, or whatever you want to call it, competitor, has won the most gold medals in hockey at the Olympics?
Won the most gold medals? It's got to be Canada.
The third most.
Okay.
And yes, it is Canada. For
Okay.
number 1.
Third most medals. Any medal.
Gold.
Gold
medal.
medals.
Okay. Oh, I'm not as well versed on my international hockey. I think Russia's second. I'm going to guess maybe US third.
Yep.
Okay.
You nailed it. Wow, that's impressive. Now I wish I had more questions to see how far. All right, you are the world's expert on hockey. Madison, as long as we're doing quizzes. So you wanted community, correct?
Yes.
So I've got, I think I came up with 5 on this one. What was Greendale, is it Greendale Community College, right? Mm-hmm. The show Community, yeah. Greendale Community College's most famous alum.
Oh God. What the fuck is it?
Oh,
Can
I
you
thought I
picture
had his
him?
name, but now I
Yeah.
escaped it.
It's the guy from All the Stuff, and he has like a lisp.
Oh, I'm blanking too.
Yeah,
It's
you
not.
got him.
Oh, I have a backup guess if you are something.
Can I come back to it?
Yeah, she can come back to it if it jumps. You do have the right person, though, I'll tell you that. What was the Greendale Community College mascot before they were the human beings?
Fuck.
I don't know the answer to this.
I should have made
Can I have a
this
hockey
multiple
question? I don't know.
choice. Okay, the Grizzlies.
Whoa, I thought they didn't even have one.
No, they
before.
did, and then before that, it was something like pretty offensive, so I left that off. I can't remember what it was, but it was like
Good call,
it was
good
pretty
call.
bad. Okay, here's the easy one. Who is Alex Osborne better known as?
Starburns.
There we go. Okay, now we're back on track. Now, what is the acronym? You don't have to give me each one. The acronym for the Greendale Community College mission statement.
Oh, well, it's pluribus.
No, that's the motto. Oh. The mission statement's...
The mission statement.
Yeah. Okay, I went way too hard on these.
But there's like an acronym.
It's an acronym, yeah. How about I give you the acronym, then you tell me what it stands for?
Okay.
Okay, the acronym is AAAAA.
Oh my gosh.
No, not ringing a bell at all.
These are tough.
It's accessibility, affordability, air conditioning, awesome new people, a lot of classes.
Holy shit.
And do you have the alum yet?
Fuck.
Wait.
Oh, Luis Guzman.
There you go.
Oh, I was thinking of someone else that starts with an L. I'm glad I didn't do my guess.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, I didn't make those nearly.
No, that
easy
did.
enough.
It
I'm a
seemed
fake
like the
fan.
Right difficulty.
I
just,
do feel like someone who
looking at
actually
them.
was a community expert might have got that. I feel like we might have been doomed. I like too that like the words per answer for Adam versus Madison.
I took the millionaire approach. I almost asked the audience.
I wasn't
one
paying
point.
attention. Were you like staring at me, like reading my reaction, like just saying it until you like caught? Oh,
Gordie
blinked.
Howe, Gordie Howe.
Okay, vocabulary. I have never in my life said this correctly, and I don't know if I ever will. And I want to know if you guys do, if you ever will, if you are aware that this is correct, and how you feel about other people doing this correctly. When you use the phrase "these data,"
These data.
that's the reaction I wanted to gasp.
I've
Yeah,
never
so-
heard that.
Well,
Yeah, the correct way when you're talking about like plural of data, blah blah blah. These data.
Not.
I mean,
this.
data is a plural word to begin with, though.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
so you're not supposed to say this data. You're supposed to say these data. Now these data
Oh,
items.
this datum.
Yeah,
Is datum a word?
Yeah, it's the singular form of.
Oh.
yeah. So I hear it all the time. Blah blah. Blah. These. I would always say this data.
Oh yeah, that's the thing where like language adapts. I feel like this data should be allowed to be.
Yeah, I was ready to be on the side of like it. The correct way is right, but no,
Yeah,
that's stupid.
I love the audible gasp when you heard it. Okay, so you'll hear it now. Now that I said
sure.
that, you'll hear it out there or read it or whatever. And it,
No.
yeah.
You know, I'm a statistician, so I am going to have a strong opinion about this. one
Which is
way or
why I
the
brought
other.
it up. But do you say these data?
I probably don't, but I would think the data like before I say any other descriptor personally, but I'm sure that I've said this data and
Right.
never
Because
thought
these
like,
feels wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes you.
Yeah.
I mean, you sounded dumb.
You say
saying
da-
that.
you say
It does,
data
it sounds
set,
like
right?
These
incorrect.
are your data. Like, sorry, Southern people.
Wow, we just lost that part. At least we gained the Canadians by your love of Canadians.
I could talk about my time working at Ross near the Canadian border, and we can lose the Canadians. Moving
We have
on.
a very narrow audience here pretty soon. Not that we don't already. Okay, all right. How about this? Does anyone in this group believe that more money in your life would not lead to more happiness? Everyone's like, money doesn't buy happiness. Blah, blah. Like everyone who has a lot of money says that, and I always think, well, you're just dumb and don't know how to spend it correctly. There's no doubt in my mind that if I had a bunch more money, I would be happier. End of story.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's
But-
like a limit.
Yeah. So back in the day, it was $75,000. If you earn more than $75,000 a year, each dollar you get isn't really giving you more happiness. Nowadays, I think that number would be closer to like 125,000 or something.
Oh, I think it's way up from there.
I mean,
In
I read
Seattle?
something-
No, but that
I read
is-
something pretty recently.
Yeah.
That is
I
the
think-
stat. Like
yeah.
once you don't have
Yeah.
to worry,
Yeah,
stuff like that. But that's what I don't
I think
believe.
I'd be really happy making fucking $500,000 compared to 125. Yeah, like I agree. It's like people don't know how to use the money right.
Right. Or like if you won the lottery, like, oh, 50% of people end up in the gutter. Yeah, well, I'm not going to be one of them.
I'm
like,
a firm believer that I would not be one of them. I totally agree.
I have never bought
Yeah.
into that. And the couple times that I've seen like a rich person or celebrity say, like, oh, no, it's amazing. I respect that person so like don't sit there in your mansion with this and you don't ever have to work again. You can do whatever and tell me, oh no, it just brings out your real problem. Like, no.
Yes.
It's like
My real problems are there regardless. So why can't I be sad in Hawaii instead of fucking here?
I agree, but like if you play video games on like easy mode or like with cheats, it's not necessarily as fun. It's like more boring. The challenges of having to go to work make the other parts of my life more exciting. If all of my life was just whatever I wanted, I feel like I would
Okay.
But so for me, like the thing I enjoy most in a video game is like an open world one where I don't have to accomplish anything. There isn't like a goal that I have to get to the next goal. I'm just wandering around looking at cool shit, which is what I could do if I was a billionaire. You don't have to have those goals like in a video game.
Also, you could still have a job while you're rich if that's what brings
there's
you
no way I would have the motivation. Like
Oh, I
my
don't get
job
that
doesn't
either.
bring
Like, people who have jobs when
it's
they
the
don't have to.
contrast.
Yeah. I could see maybe getting a little stir crazy and getting a part-time, like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I could be a gift wrapper 2 days a week. I think that would bring me joy.
Yeah.
If I
Or
was
like
to-
volunteer or like work somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the first day that I didn't feel like it, I'd be like, yeah, fuck this.
So
Like,
Right. Oh, but isn't that amazing? Like that you could?
yeah, no, I mean, I think definitely for a long time it would be incredible, but after a while it might get depressing. I don't know.
I could
Yeah,
see
it,
that.
it depends on the amount too.
Yeah.
Like I do think, I mean, if you had like tons of money and you could like do, produce a TV show, be like, oh, it'd be cool if they made a show about that, and then you just like throw some money at people and they made a show that you wanted to see, like stuff like that, or like put on like your own reality show, and you're like, okay, first prize is $10 million, and here's what you have to do to get it.
Be my assistant and move my 401k for me. Okay, here's kind of a sub question about winning the lottery and getting really rich. So, when I was an auditor, we had this discussion, which is like, so we were all, we're in a conference room doing our work, And my manager goes, okay, this was when it was that super big Mega Millions or whatever, where it was like, almost $1 billion or something. He goes, if one of you guys won that tonight, would you come into work tomorrow? Would you give it 2 weeks? What would be your strategy? And my boss said, I would hand you guys my laptop and you'd never see me again. My answer is I would give it 2 weeks notice because I like my coworkers, but I want to know how you guys would handle if you would you quit tomorrow? What would you do?
I would
Ask
give
my
2
lawyer.
weeks.
Ask a lawyer.
I think I would give 2 weeks, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think I would.
That checks out. I feel like that we all have the same answer.
Yeah, I mean, I think generally speaking, barring if you're miserable, you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
think you have to suffer, but if it's no skin off your teeth, and you're like, hey, this is just going to make other people suffer.
Yeah.
But there's other jobs that it doesn't affect your coworkers at all, and it's just about the bottom line for the boss, or you know what I mean? I
Good
wouldn't feel
point. If you're a
obligated
cashier-
to a company or something like that.
That's a good
But the
point.
actual people, just because I have a lot of money, I don't want to screw people over.
Yeah.
So it would definitely
humble.
vary, but in general sense, my default would be leave right away, unless that causes problems for that.
Because we
that
just
kind of
need to
thing.
pass knowledge on to.
Exactly. Yeah, it'd be like, oh, I was in the middle of, let me forward you some emails. And my boss that said I would leave tomorrow, you never see me again. None of us were surprised by that answer either. Because, he was great. I liked him and stuff. But it was just yeah, I'm like, I like you guys too much. That was my answer. I was like, I wouldn't want to screw you guys over. And he's like, sorry, I definitely would screw you over. Which I don't think is the worst answer. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Just curious what you guys
Yeah,
would
I could
say
definitely
about
see it
that.
going both ways.
Yeah,
but
definitely
it
depends
definitely
on the
would
job.
be.
Really good point on that. Yeah, if it was my college job, when I'm just a number, I'm a cashier or something. What is there to do during those 2 weeks?
Yeah, and especially if you work at the type of place that if you called in sick, it wouldn't be the end of the world. They can function without you, then maybe. All right, here's a work question though, because this one again drives me crazy. So do you do Zoom team meetings? I'm assuming in the last few years. We're not going to mention why, so we don't get flagged on Spotify. But do your meetings say it's an hour meeting? If it's a 10 o'clock meeting, what time is it scheduled to end, and what time does it end?
10 to 11.
Oh, is it? I don't exist in that world. Is that the same for you?
For the most part.
Yeah. See, it's insane to me. Every meeting I've ever had with internally with other that kind of stuff, if it's a 10 o'clock meeting, it goes to 11. And then I'll have an 11 o'clock meeting. So it's this awkward, do you leave this one early? Do you show up to the one late? I'm like, why isn't this not college classes where even 5
55.
minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. But so yours do end 10 minutes ahead.
Sorry, I meant I thought you were
10
asking
o'clock
what time does it actually start? I thought you were asking does it start late sometimes or does it finish early
No,
or late?
no.
So what I was saying is my meetings actually go exactly when they should, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm kind of misanswered that. But yeah, it's if I have an 11 o'clock meeting, I'll maybe leave if it's not wrapped up yet at 10:59. Maybe I'll leave early, but a lot of times I'll be a minute or two late to my
Yeah,
next
see, and
one.
I feel like we've had years to get this right, and everyone should be on board that if you have a meeting, it's 55 minutes. If you go to your therapist, if you are in a call, everyone knows an hour meeting, you need the buffer for the next thing. Yet somehow in the Zoom world,
I've never thought about that because
Yeah.
so many meetings being with. Sorry, I was on another call.
oh yeah,
Totally.
all the time.
That is interesting.
Why is that not figured out?
Yeah, I guess a lot of my meetings are with the same people, so it overlaps. So it's me and my boss will be like, "Oh yeah, I'll be late to that one too. See you in a second or something." So I feel like it's you're probably meeting with a lot of different groups, so it's
Yeah, and so now I try to
Yeah.
schedule it. The only thing you do is schedule them a half hour apart. So now I just have a empty half hour because it's I can't be late to this one, but I can't leave this one it's important enough that neither. And I'm just yeah, why have we not figured that out?
But let me ask you this. If you have a 10 o'clock meeting, what percentage of those meetings is the ball rolling at 10 o'clock versus are they waiting a couple minutes for more people to join? Because
Most of mine, because most of mine
Okay.
are fairly smaller. I don't
Okay,
have a lot
yeah.
of kind of corporate-y, oh, hey, we're having usually it's specific people, specific thing. We get on, hey, how everyone's going, and it rolls.
Okay. In our workplace, it's whether it's internal or with external partners, usually there's a grace period at the start of the meeting where we're people are just kind of talking or maybe
Yeah.
catching up.
Which
on
I
another
do like
project
if
or
it's a
something
big
like
one.
that.
You know, there's
So,
like 50
yeah.
people from different places. Definitely that, but that's
Yeah.
not my majority.
Yeah, and you can always send it like a Zoom chat message, and I don't know how many people are checking Zoom chat if you like need to leave early for another meeting. or
Yeah, we get a
something like
lot of that. Like,
Yeah.
I gotta pop out
Yeah.
early kind of thing.
Yeah, so I feel like at our place, yeah, there's. What's amazing to me is that like every meeting that's scheduled for 10 to 11 like actually kind of like goes pretty close to 10 to 11. Like I go in thinking, oh, there's way more to talk about or way less to talk about, but no.
I bet if they scheduled it to 10:50, it would go to 10:50.
It would go to 10:50.
magically
Yeah,
fit.
Right.
We would find a way.
People's, yeah.
For a while, we had kind of an initiative of if you think you need an hour meeting, start with a half-hour meeting and see. And I mean, it's
Interesting.
usually you can usually accomplish exactly what you need to accomplish in 30 minutes. Like, yeah, people just are bad about estimating. But now that that was when we were doing in-person meetings. Now, gosh, yeah, they'll be scheduled for 90 minutes, and we don't even need the full time or something. But I don't have a lot. I think you guys probably have more meetings than I do. Most of my day is not meetings.
Yeah, I'm a lot more judicious about scheduling them. Like, you know, because I recently started a new position and I was like, oh, meet with these people. And now it's like starting to be too many meetings throughout the week. And so trying to like say no to more meetings definitely is helpful.
Yeah, because there's some where they're just like, oh, well, it might be nice to have Eric on. Oh, and it might be nice to have Savannah. It's like, I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I just sit there doing other work the whole time.
Yeah, I get a lot of those. Oh, you know, you might be interested, but I'm not necessary. You know, so I'm like, okay, how about instead, like you just summarize it for me. Like, let me know what I should have heard because I don't feel like I'm adding value to this whatsoever. Okay, I'm switching gears totally because now we're talking about work meetings, which is
Right? Ew.
all right. Foods that are better as leftovers. My number one out there for me is spaghetti. Like just spaghetti noodles with marinara sauce.
Really?
Like microwaved?
No, cold. That was the other thing too, is which ones do you like, cold versus heated up? Yeah, so you got spaghetti with marinara sauce, right out of the fridge, cold. Scoop it up.
Okay, my answer is literally nothing is better as leftovers.
Really?
Yeah.
I think pizza can be sometimes.
I think pizza's great as a leftover, but I don't think it's better. Yeah.
I don't usually eat like a lot of like foods that you could eat hot or cold. I usually eat them hot, so I don't have that like predilection. I'm also inclined to say none, except all right, lasagna, it depends on how long it has like been sitting because like sometimes if you cut into it too quick, like when you serve it at first, it will not have like settled, but by the time you have it as a leftover, it'll be more consistent.
See, I would put that on
but
there.
I like it hot, and when I heat it up in the microwave, the temperature will be inconsistent.
Yeah, big time.
In that slice, so I would still prefer the less settled but smoking hot version over. Yeah, I can't off the top of my head think of anything that I would say
Yeah.
is
I
better.
feel like I have a lot. Madison, anything?
Yeah, I think none.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, I want to hear
Now,
your others.
no, I just caught you all in a lie. Because I'm going to say this next one, and there's no way, I refuse to believe there's no way you don't all agree with this. Cake. 100% cake is better the next day.
I don't like cake.
I don't like cake that much, so
It's okay.
you look so deflated.
Have you tried it the next day? Maybe that's why you don't like
Better
it.
the next day. Why is it better the next day?
The like frosting gets this like certain like texture. This is a thing. Most people agree with me.
Oh man, I mean, okay, I don't think it's worse the next day.
We need to do these shows live, so we do like live polls, and you like, oh wow, the Canadians do agree with him.
Yeah,
Wow.
I kind of understand what you're saying with the frosting. I can imagine that.
Yeah, it's got this like I don't want to. The problem is like any adjective I can think of to describe the texture sounds wrong. Like it's not hard. It's not like, but it's just got this like little.
Ooh, then now you've really lost me. Yeah, I don't, because I like things.
I don't think I ever had
smooth
you.
and
I don't
silky.
Is it sitting out at room temperature?
Yeah.
in the,
You
okay.
can't put it in the refrigerator or anything like that. Just
Yeah,
sitting
because
out
then it
the next
dries out
day.
if it goes in the fridge. Yeah, I love carrot cake. Huge carrot cake fan over here. Other than that, I would rather eat like pretty much any other dessert than cake. Don't get me wrong. If there is cake, I will eat it. But it's the combination. Yeah, the texture. It's like I'd rather be eating a cookie or a piece of pie. The list goes on and on.
What I love right now is I can close my eyes and I can just see everyone listening to this podcast commuting to work, and they're all screaming at their radios, yes, cake is so much better the next day. Like, there's an army of people out there.
Poor Eric, no one's
agreeing
singing
right
up
now.
for him.
Sound off in the comments.
I don't think we figured out what our email address is quite yet, but
Oh, yeah.
we have to get that so they can email it to me, right? Okay. Oh, man, I'm just like over 6
I
on
know.
like getting you guys
I'm so
to agree with
sorry.
stuff.
I love that we're all on the same page, though. Go us. Go
Right,
Cells.
friend.
All right, here's one. Done this before. Reality show. You have a year to get good at something. And so you don't worry about like how it affects your personal blah, blah, blah. You just have a year, you'll get trained. It's just, and you're competing against everyone in the country that's the same age as you with the same experience in this thing. Which thing do you think you could get the most like proportionately good at compared to everyone else in a year? The better you get, the more money you make. Making balloon animals. And when I say balloon animals, it can also, be cars and tractors and stuff like that.
Only vehicles on no other objects. No swords.
What about grocery carts?
Hats, yeah, they could be like anything. So balloon animals, flair bartending. You all know what that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
So it's like you gotta like flip the bottles. And
Oh,
as you
Flair.
pour them-
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Or
Okay.
trick shots in pool.
Ooh. I already know my answer.
Damn. None of those are very physical.
All right.
Yeah, what's your answer?
Flair bartending, I feel like it's the most physical. Okay, so I actually... We're going to pause.
Okay, well, we'll leave everything
Okay,
running
cool.
and say goodbye.
So sorry, guys. we
Don't
gotta
be
go
sorry. No, I was noticing the time, too. Thank you for
And
coming.
I have to. It was so hard not to talk that whole time. My work has solved the 5-minute problem. We first had all meetings end 5 minutes ahead. Like we set Outlook to be like your meeting only could go 5 till. Everyone went to the hour. So then now they've set it so every meeting has to start 5 minutes. after the hour.
Nice.
Oh.
That's actually a better way to do it,
And
probably.
then and it works a lot better. So
Yeah,
That's
I was
great.
shocked that, because I just jumped into the meeting world. I'm like, it's been 2+ years.
Yeah.
You really couldn't have figured this out?
some people did.
Yeah, I really
Good.
didn't think about that. But yeah,
Because we
I think we're
think
just too
humanity.
greedy with time. We've already
so
grabbed
much,
some
guys.
snacks for the road.
Yeah, thank you
or
for coming.
So
something.
amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to leave your place.
Oh my gosh, no, it's totally fine. We knew about the time constraint, so.
It's good to see you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So good to see you. I'll give you a hug.
Bye.
Thanks, girl. It was so nice fun to listen
Good
to.
to see you. Yeah. When will we see you next? Like,
Probably your birthday.
Oh my god.
oh yeah, duh.
Bye, thanks again. Awesome guests. You guys were so
We
great.
had a lot, I had a lot of
Yeah.
fun. I shouldn't speak for Brian.
Yeah, in the car, he'll bitch too.
Yeah.
Oh no, we were texting each other. We're like, oh, we want to jump in, so we're gonna have to talk about
Yeah,
all
we're-
these
Yes, please. Yeah, feel free to text us your thoughts so we can all know.
We'll just
yeah.
record our whole
Leftover cake? Any thoughts on leftover cake?
No, I don't want to hear them.
Thank you.
The door clicks require the slam, so I'm gonna.
You guys need any snacks or drink or anything?
I actually do need a drink.
Well, luckily everyone's door is like that, so
got it.
I know sometimes it's like I get really home really late at night.
It'll be, man.
about it.
Yeah. I'll preserve my position here.
Yeah, do you want to drink?
Oh, no, I'm good, thanks.
Another Truly or a Diet Coke?
Your call. I'm driving, so it doesn't.
Oh my god, Ryan's, so many of his answers involved like hanging out with the bros. Like, I love
Oh my god, I know. Oh,
so fun.
all right. Might as well eat a little.
Also, because I feel like he's like a non-toxic example of bro culture.
Yes.
Like,
Okay.
Alright.
Gotta do some chewing.
So that'll be easy to edit because we'll just start with you going with whatever we were just talking about. 'Cause I don't remember. Oh, the
Oh, yeah.
flair
Balloon-
bartending,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Cool balloon animals.
Okay, gotta really make sure this tortilla chips
I
out of
know.
my teeth. Yeah.
Saliva noises on.
it's a ritual.
Okay, do I have any cilantro?
No.
I don't
Okay.
see any.
Okay, good answer, right? Then you're not guaranteeing I don't have it, but you don't see me. Okay. Okay, so I, of these three options, have softly learned one of them, which is balloon animals. when I worked at a kid's hair salon, it was really slow one summer, and my boss was just like,
I'm back.
welcome back.
I left my sunglasses on the table.
Oh! And then Kelly had sunglasses here, but she got those, right? Because I had moved them.
She probably got it.
I think I saw her carrying them or wearing them or something.
All
Okay.
right, thanks, guys.
Dang. And don't forget to slam it behind you.
Okay, I'll slam it.
Awesome.
Sorry at the very beginning.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Can't believe we slammed it. Sorry.
That was really rude. Okay. So of the 3 options, I actually have learned how to make balloon animals. Well, I learned how to make a dog. And yeah, I worked at a kid's hair salon. It was a slow summer, and my boss was like, oh, this would be kind of a nice addition to birthday parties. Like, we did birthday parties also. I guess that's not obvious with a hair salon. And it wasn't that hard, so I feel like learning the really intricate ones would be less daunting. Like, if you're bad, okay, it's gonna look ugly, but being bad at flair bartending, I just feel like I'm dropping a lot of bottles.
Now, but remember, you're competing against people with the same amount of experience, so you've already like set the bar at people who can like kind of do it and make a dog. Is that to your advantage or not? Because they may be like, oh, I've tried it, but I can make a dog and I can do this other shit. You might have been like, I tried it, I can make a dog, and that's.
Ooh,
did
that's
you
a good
feel
point.
like you had potential in it, or?
I mean, I posted a picture of the dog I made on Facebook,
Oh, okay,
so
well
I was
then,
at least
yeah,
that
for
proud.
sure.
Yeah.
That's the metric.
Plus, I just feel like once again, it's like, how can I apply this to the rest of my life after this reality show's over? I just feel like all my my future children, nieces and nephews, whatever, that's like a party trick of like, I mean, flair bartending would only serve the adults, and apparently this is a kid show after all, so we would want to do balloon animals.
I was just finding it amusing. If anyone listened to the episode with Kelly and Brian, it always goes back to what you can talk about or do at a party.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's all like, how can I selfishly use this to my advantage?
I do feel like flair bartending at a party
Yeah.
might be better than balloon animals
Yeah,
with the kind of
yeah.
parties you're actually going to. But
Maybe it's because I feel more confident about my skills to win over adults with my personality, but not children.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow.
There we go.
Okay.
But no, that's just me saying, like, it's harder for me to get kids to like me. So yeah.
So let me ask a question with flair bartending. Am I being judged on my flair or my bartending or both?
My
'Cause I feel
impression
like-
personally, not like knowing the ins and out of the flair bartending world, is it's way more about the flair.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, because that was going to... If it was more about the bartending, I might have actually chosen that one.
Yeah, no, this is more about the show.
but,
It's more of
yeah.
an entertainment thing, and hopefully the drink kind of has
Yeah.
the right ingredients at the
Yeah.
end of it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of in trouble here because, I mean, like, I've played pool. I've never attempted, like, bartending besides mixing a mixed drink at a party, and I've never... I've attempted to blow up balloons before. It works, like, 20% of the time.
Have you tried juggling?
Wait,
though? I
with
feel
your
like-
mouth, the long balloon?
Oh, yeah, I'm awful at blowing. I
but-
can, like...
Usually
long
you use
balloon.
like a hand pump for a balloon animal balloon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I pulled
Yeah.
a cheek muscle one time trying to blow up the long ones. Like,
Yeah, that sounds painful.
anyway,
Well, if I can let a
so
machine do it, then...
you ever try juggling though?
Yes, and as Madison can attest to, I'm quite brilliant at it.
Oh.
No.
Okay, so probably not flair.
So probably not
bartending.
flair, yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of glass.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
My hope was that maybe I could, like, throw one bottle up while I'm actually making a, like, good mixed drink.
That's
with my
pretty
other
really
hand.
high.
Yeah, maybe.
That actually would be entertaining. I think
cool.
that'd score
Yeah.
some points.
But I have to go with the pull trick shots because I'm a geometric, like, I'm a mathematical thinker, and so I feel like I'm not great at pool by any means.
But you have like
but-
coaches and stuff. Like I feel like you're
Yeah,
probably right.
I feel like I could improve my acumen that much more, even though I'm starting at a higher point.
yeah, I like
There.
that. Madison.
Okay, I hate the feeling of balloons, and I also hate like when a balloon pops and you're not ready for it. And I
then,
feel like there would be a
squeaky
lot of
sound, like
yeah. I don't think I could handle that. Although the creative part of it is interesting. The bartending thing. How much time? Like, do I get to practice this all in like? Are my coaches like in a bar Are we?
I mean, I think there's flexibility. Like, if you want
Okay.
to like train like Rocky style, where it's like not the actual thing, but you're in like a meat locker doing
But yeah,
whatever.
you will
like,
have witnesses if that's something you're worried about. Like, it could just be like
No,
a
I just-
one-on-one.
I hate bars. Like, they're
Oh.
oh no, and I think a lot of times like the competitions are in a bar. They like set
Okay.
something up on like a stage. I mean, it's really a performance thing.
gross. Yeah, I still don't want to pick.
I'm going to answer like 17 questions on something you really weren't going to pick anyway.
Well, I'm horrible at pool, but that's good because everyone else would be horrible at pool.
Right.
And I definitely feel like if you try something, just like, you know, for example, being a doctor, if you work hard enough at it, you could do it. I'm not mathematically minded, but like I've done certain things recently, like learning to solve a Rubik's Cube, running, roller skating, where I didn't think that I could learn them, but I just kept trying and I did.
And I feel like that actually would lend itself well to balloon animals if it wasn't for all those other things you said. The like you follow the like instructions, you learn the thing, like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Versus the pool is sort of like a feel, like you can logically talk about it, but I think there's a lot of that
Yeah.
muscle memory to it too. But so you're going pool?
But I got the muscle memory with the roller skating.
Oh yeah. So
Yeah, I would go pool.
all right, I definitely would go flare bartending.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would the balloon animal thing. I agree. I don't. Yeah, the squeakiness. I wouldn't get satisfaction of it. Like nothing about that. The pool thing. That one's interesting because like I played pool a lot consistently for a long time and got decent. But it was sort of like I feel like I'm really giving this like a good shot and this is as good as I'm getting. So I kind of feel like, you know, I kind of know more where my max is there and it's not trick shotty at all.
Yeah.
I've juggled a little bit and kind of can do that. So I think flare bartending I could get decent with.
And the other thing about pool trick shots, like I feel like regular pool, you're probably just whacking a stick at the ball more often than not, unless you're super professional. But to those trick shots, you really got to apply spin, you got to apply weird physics things, and it is probably a lot harder than it sounds. Like I'm dreading juggling and the hand mechanics that go into flare bartending. Like I'm sure that pool trick shots are so complicated as far as
And if you're doing it for a year, you're probably like a
you're-
lot of frustration, a
Yeah.
lot of failure.
Yeah, I'm still choosing it because I'm not going to like whack myself over the head with a bottle.
Well, it's like a balloon that's popping in your face
Yeah.
every time
Yeah,
that you're like failing. Like that.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
ball that's rolling in the wrong way.
And
Oh,
theoretically, I'm thinking you have like someone that can set it back up for you because that would be annoying too. If like
Yeah.
you take one shot, you gotta set it back up. One
Yeah.
shot.
And the other thing about the pool, though, and maybe this, I don't know if this works. For me, it works in my favor. I think you're kind of designing your routine. Like, same with flare bartending and same with balloon animals, I guess, to a degree. But it's like,
Are
yeah,
you?
well,
Is it like a set thing where it's like you have to do all these
Oh,
trick
yeah, that's a
shots
good
and
question.
see how many you can make?
Like
I
an
Yeah,
think
obstacle
it's sort
course?
of no. I think
Or-
you try to do the coolest ones or
Yeah,
whatever, and
okay.
then
And
you
the judges.
present it, and they're like, "Oh wow, that's cooler than that one." It's
Yeah.
not like you all have to do the same ones. You kind of come up with whatever you think's gonna be the coolest.
yeah. I mean, like being a pit driver, pitch for the other episode here. Go
Not a
listen to the first one.
driver.
Yeah,
I like we have a ton
or
of
the
callbacks
pit,
to this.
yeah.
Right.
So
Don't say something.
you have to watch every episode to understand any episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, obviously, a lot of my focus has been on applying it in life after this scenario. I do think the pool trick shots is like you're gonna be at a bar with a pool table more than you're gonna have the opportunity to do flare bartending or make balloon animals. So that's a nice one too.
Well, I gotta disagree.
You
here.
could bring your balloon animal supplies anywhere.
True.
Well, in flare bartending, like it doesn't always have to be alcohol. Like I know how to throw glasses and bottles and shit around. I can do this just serving breakfast.
Right, but that's at home. You can also make balloon animals at home. But I just feel like, yeah.
And don't tell me party because there's nothing cooler at a party than
Okay.
flare bartending. Like you're not gonna win that one.
Yeah, I guess I'm just thinking like it's like, okay, you go to a bar, you're like, oh, a pool table's here anyway, why don't I play pool? You're not gonna wake up every day when you're making breakfast and be in the mood to do flare bartending when you're just like living your regular life. Like
I
when
also
you're
never go to bars, so
yeah, that's a good point.
Imagine going around a party of like drunk adults with the balloon animal thing. I feel like you
Oh
would
my God,
be
everyone would be
a
wearing
hit.
hats. People
Yeah,
would be
everyone
so
would be
into
freaking
it.
out. Like, make me a sword. sure.
No, you
Yeah.
need to do it like not where they're drinking like a mushroom party or something.
True.
Like that.
That's very true.
That might be scary. I don't know.
Oh, right, like the popping. Yeah, but those aren't really. I mean, I love all three of those options. None of them are like, ew, I don't want to do that. Pool, I have terrible hand-eye coordination. So even though I realize everyone starting would be at the same playing field as me, I don't think I have it in me
And you
to
probably
get
would
super
enjoy
good.
the learning of it if
Yeah,
if you just feel
sometimes
that much,
I don't
like-
even hit the white ball. Sometimes I'm so off. Like
Yeah.
it's. I mean, what? There's a name for it. Cue.
Cue ball.
Yeah.
Cue ball.
Okay. Let's say this job that I'm about to tell you paid well. You know, whatever you make now plus 50%. So, you know, so theoretically that's hopefully more than you're picturing you're making in the near future anyway. Your job though is to be an extra on a TV show. So no lines, but you show up, you get in costume, you're on the set, you're part of the whole thing. What show would you want to be like an extra in? So mostly you're just thinking about like who you would be hanging around, like who's on the show, what the sets and costumes are like. And let's assume it could be like an old show, new show. Let's assume it's just like perpetually being
Okay.
Okay.
yeah,
Doesn't have to be
renewed
on the
season
air.
after season. So this is gonna be your job for, you know, the foreseeable future. And it's more just about like the atmosphere of, oh, it'd be cool to like be this type of extra, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mad Men.
That was my answer too.
What was it?
Whoa.
Mad
Mad
Men.
Men.
Beyond the
I wanna-
elevator
Oh, like the,
with,
would you be
with Tom
like,
Draper.
yeah.
I would be
Yeah.
like one of the secretaries wearing like cute secretary outfits.
Okay. I would be in the elevator while two people are having one of those riveting conversations, and I'd just kind of be minding my own business.
Good.
I like that answer. I haven't actually seen Mad Men, but yeah.
Get the vibe. I haven't seen
Yeah,
it, but
I get the vibe.
definitely
Yeah,
get the
yeah, yeah.
off-
Definitely with the
60s
wardrobe.
office. Although, I believe there'd probably be a lot of like smoke in the air all the time, right? So you'd be
True.
all the time at set, you'd be breathing in that secondhand smoke.
The other thing about Mad Men, I went to youth group with somebody who's an actor, and he did have a speaking part in Mad Men. So I would not even be the most famous person from my own youth group on Mad Men. So maybe I need to choose a different answer.
Yeah, that was just my first.
Yeah, it was my first thought too, but now that I think about it in that context,
It also doesn't seem super
Like-
comfortable, like as cool as the clothes are. Some of those can be kind of stuffy, and if you're there for a 15-hour like shooting day, and
Yeah.
it's like okay, click, 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 click.
We're at like
Something
this
to think about.
high-waisted skirt, like digging into you. Okay, my answer is Parks and Recreation. I think they do a lot of ad-libbing on that show, so I think it would just be really fun to like observe.
Oh, but you're in the background.
Yeah, that's why I said observe.
But while they're ad-libbing,
oh, like not laughing
you
and
can
breaking.
ruin their. Can you
Oh,
imagine the stress of
God.
like not laughing?
That's true, but it just sounds fun.
It would be fun, but like picture that, like this is your job, and you're
Yeah.
getting paid a lot of money to be in the background and not laugh, and then those people are like throwing those out. I'm just saying that
That's
could
a
be
good point.
difficult.
But I think it would be like a way of getting better at not breaking, because I definitely am someone that breaks. But yeah, I still stand by that answer. And like a lot of the cast, I think it's not like they hang out with the extras, but it would just be fun to be in their presence, I think.
And that's fairly normal clothes, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm picturing a lot of like the town hall meetings they have, and
See, I would like to
Yeah.
like get the advantage of like a cool set, like something in the past,
Oh.
or
yeah, and a lot of times it's like when there's like they'll have a big group from the town, and like people in the crowd will have lines. So it's like I could be right next to someone with a line and like get seen more or something. So yeah, I'm kind
Yeah.
of thinking about it with multiple facets like that. And you know, be in the presence of little Sebastian would be cool to just say you have.
be at that festival.
It's a mini horse that like everyone in the town is obsessed with, but like an out of town guy is like, I don't get it. It's just a mini horse.
People get so mad at him.
Yeah,
for it. Like,
yeah. They threw
what
this
is there to
huge
get?
like benefit concert when he died.
Oh.
Yeah.
spoiler.
Spoiler for
Sorry,
Parks and Rec.
all of
Sorry.
our Canadian listeners who haven't
yeah.
seen it yet.
If you haven't seen it in the past 10 years, that's on you.
I don't know. I feel like nowadays with so many different shows, I haven't gotten
Yeah.
around to Parks and
But
Rec
for the
yet.
record, if it makes you feel better, the mini horse is not a major character, so you can still watch Parks and Rec if you want.
doesn't ruin the whole thing. I would go with Deadwood.
I've never
never seen that one
Deadwood.
personally.
It's old west,
Yep.
you know. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the sets and the costumes and like,
Yeah.
cause yeah, I feel like for me when I wrote the question, I was more like, you know, thinking about kind of the Mad Men, the transforming into. I wasn't thinking quite as much as like who I would be hanging out with.
Yeah.
Trying to think of anything else as far as like a show that would go to like cool.
I don't know. I'm trying to think
I
of
was going to
a
say
second answer.
Game of Thrones was also one that came to my head pretty quickly. I know it didn't stick the landing. Spoiler alert for Game of Thrones, but
Yeah, like Castle.
like yeah,
Or
or
honestly,
you'd be in some
green screens, probably a lot. Of
yeah, a lot of green screens, a lot of. I mean, the thing about that is that like depending on what kind of extra you are, they might have to make a plaster mold of your head or your arm or
yeah.
something
Like
like
a
that,
monster.
and that might be. Yeah, you could be
Ooh,
one
yeah, you
of
do
the
something
White
pretty
Walkers
cool.
from the show.
Being,
All
like,
sorts
battles
of
and stuff,
makeup,
I'm
but then
sure.
would people know it was you? But would you care? Would they care?
True. Or yeah, you
I-
could be like way far back in a battle scene.
Yeah, they
I
like,
care
Yeah.
like
about.
reuse you for different
Yeah,
things.
you could be one of Ed Sheeran's Merry Men. There was an episode where he had a
I still
speaking
can't-
part, and he had like a group of people that were traveling with him. You could just be one of Ed Sheeran's Merry Men.
A lot of people complain
They-
about that. They're like, that totally took me out of it. That
Yeah,
he
it's
was
not
in
like too famous. And
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
All right, what about Lost? Hanging out at the beach. No.
Don't have to like you're kind of wearing the same thing every day, so it's
And-
pretty
and
simple.
Have you watched that
Are
recently?
there
or ever?
extras in Lost?
Yeah,
I've never seen
which
it.
is so weird because there's like supposedly like 40 or 50 people. Only this core little group of them ever talk or do anything, and the other ones just
Really?
walk around in the background the entire
It's like
time.
the Grey's Anatomy, like all the nurses and stuff.
Yeah,
that
they're
stick
there
around.
for seasons and seasons. Wow, that's interesting. Ooh, Grey's Anatomy would be a good one. You're in scrubs.
I wouldn't want to
and
be
a
outside.
Doctor jacket. I think there's a better name.
guess
Lab
so.
coat.
Doctor jacket.
Yeah, being outside I wouldn't love as much. I agree.
But I mean, they probably have like like.
Not for the extras. I'm sure it's like a little tent or
that's
something.
true.
yeah, you're probably right.
That's a good point. It probably would get kind of annoying.
I think, are there any shows where they wear a bunch of like gowns? I think that'd be fun to like get really
Bridgerton or something?
fancy.
I've
The
never
Crown.
seen it.
The Crown.
I haven't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be
that
fun.
would be fun.
Yeah. Just yeah. So I guess I wasn't thinking about the costume angle as much until now, but it would be fun to transform a little more. But yeah, I'd really just want to be seen by the camera as much as possible. I have to admit, like, sorry.
So you could brag
So,
about it at
yes,
parties.
exactly. Look, it's me. Yeah, I would definitely be.
Oh, well, on
showing it
Parks
to
and Rec.
everyone.
No, it wasn't Parks and Rec. It was The Good Place. The place where we got engaged was like in the background of a shot, and I was like freaking out about that. So I
Yeah.
can't imagine what it would
And
be
it-
like if
it
it
was-
was actually
yeah.
Face.
Yeah, and like there are two statues, and we did a lot of research to make sure that yes, it was indeed the
Wait,
one.
why did they
that-
bother budget wise to go shoot in freaking Paris for The Good Place?
Did you-
Don't
I've seen the whole thing. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a good question.
Spoiler
I mean,
alert.
It wasn't-
I guess there's a chance that no. I
don't
they
remember
were
how
really
intrinsic-
there because they were like on bridges and shit.
Oh, they were definitely there. I'm just trying to remember how intrinsic it was to the plot that they were in Paris specifically.
Oh, I guess I
versus-
forgot. Okay, I've only seen it through once, so I think there's some details like that I don't remember.
Spoilers.
But yeah, that's a fun question because it is a bucket list item of mine to be a extra in something. A movie or a TV show.
You have been, for the record.
Something that
Careful.
has been in theaters or on TV.
Okay.
But yeah, but that's the bucket list item that I feel good about. That's its own item. You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
Because I had lines, so that's different. Well, that scene was cut out, but
Yeah, I don't think it counts if it's cut out. Yeah, I feel like if you're like an extra or whatever, you only get to say you had lines if you
True.
make it into the final cut of the movie. Okay, so I tried to put together a segment we call Help Wanted, which is where we get on Craigslist, Indeed, whatever, job sites and find 3 weird job postings. That was actually harder than I thought it was.
I know. I was going to
like,
tell you I
yeah.
don't have anything for this one.
So these aren't really even like really comparable at all. So, and I'm recording myself with my phone right now because I have screenshots to give you the details. So this is a terrible segment, but I'm throwing them out anyway because these were actual ones. So the first one was a paranormal investigator, and they train you. You have to take like a class or whatever, and then you actually do like paranormal investigations. The second one was a crime and trauma scene remediation tech, which is exactly what it sounds like. But that one was entertaining because of like the way they described it, but I don't have it. So
Right,
this way,
with, like,
this is a dud. Yeah, I'm just gonna
buzzwords.
blast through this.
Yeah.
But the third one, and this is the one I want to bring up because this sounds so awful, as bad as that one just sound. There was one, a birthday party facilitator, but it's at this place where they throw birthday parties, but the whole point of it is that it's supposed to be like educational, and you're supposed to be like doing these like games for the kids to learn, and it just sounded like the saddest, most horrible thing ever. That like your job is kind of like trick kids, and I hate it. It's like it's their birthday, let them not learn for a day. Like I just picture some kid that their parent is either like so like obsessive about you will get in the right thing, or it's like you're so dumb you don't even get to have fun. And then it's your job to be, and like the way they described it was just like so tragic.
Oh
Like,
my God. Yeah.
it
we
was
gotta look at-
basically them saying your job is we need someone who can trick kids into think they're celebrating their birthday when they're not.
That's so
I mean,
sad.
you would be good at that, but you'd be using your powers for evil.
I guess.
Wait, remind me
Yeah.
what the first
But
one
the
was
thing
again?
is, like you
Paranormal
have to like
Thank you.
follow a curriculum or whatever. Like it's their curriculum that you got
I
to
hate
force it
this
through.
list. Ugh. Which
I mean,
would I
paranormal
rather?
investigate-
I'll take the third
I'll do
one.
that.
I'll take
Ooh,
the
ooh.
tricking kids one.
All right, time out. Picture it though, like they're gonna send you into the creepiest,
I knew
darkest,
someone was gonna.
spider like infested, dank.
There's
place.
nothing scarier than having to talk to people.
What about if the people are like not really there and they're talking to
I
you?
don't believe in ghosts at all, so
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
like not buy into it.
Which is why I think.
but no, I'd be scared the whole time.
Yeah,
I'd hate
immediately
myself.
it's like, oh, I would do that because I don't believe in ghosts. But I'm still terrified of like
yeah.
dark spaces and
Yeah.
like creepy attics and basements. And it's like, you don't know there's not a person there. You know what I mean?
squatters or something.
Yeah.
Or rats or.
Oh god.
I think it would be terrifying.
It
to
would
do
be
that.
terrifying.
I think I'd rather clean up a crime scene. Like
You've
fear.
never seen one.
No, you're right. You're right. But I just like my fear of the dark is like so intense.
I feel like we could all just go with the kid thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No.
So what would you do?
Paranormal, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Rough it
after
out.
my little speech?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds
My
so
social
scary.
anxiety is too strong.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to communicate with the paranormal.
But once again, she doesn't believe. Yeah. See, yeah. Like
I'm not saying I would
That'd be so
enjoy
I'm
it.
not
funny
afraid
too,
of
like for
ghosts,
you,
yeah.
like just like them talking to you like in like an awkward like normal conversation would be like it's not like they'd be like I'm gonna kill you. It's just like small talk. You're like this is so awful. Let me out of this. I can't stand it.
How's it going? Oh, good. I mean, I'm alive. So sorry, you're dead. So I just feel bad. Like you're.
Yeah,
right.
that's quite a combination of choices. there.
Paranormal, and then we're tricking the kids into learning.
Yeah.
What are we tricking them into learning?
I didn't download the curriculum, so I don't know. It sounded bad though. It sounded like the type of thing like
Yeah.
there's no way these kids are at all having fun.
Yeah.
I think you could
There's-
make it fun.
there's-
I really do.
Well, I'm gonna try because I'm definitely not doing the other two things.
There's definitely an episode of The Simpsons where the school where Martin, kind of the school nerd, has a birthday party, and there's a magician there, and the kid isn't happy with what's going on, and did you say you were a magician? And I can't remember exactly, but it was like, I'm a math magician. And
That's
then
exactly what this
yeah.
sounds like.
Yeah.
And then I'm pretty sure Nelson punches him after that.
Yeah, because I'd be getting
So yeah,
punched by
I
little
mean,
kids doing
yeah,
this.
yeah. So you would face
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And I just feel bad.
Yeah. Like you said, can't we have one day of fun? Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
I just was surprised that such a thing even exists. Who thinks of that?
Yeah.
It's like, what do we need? Oh, it's like who invented? I think what it probably is, and I can't look right now. It's probably a place that does like tutoring and stuff, and then they were like, oh, we should do birthday parties.
Yeah, how can we make more
It wasn't
money?
like from scratch. Let's come up with educational birthday parties because that's just wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like someone's like, this is my life's passion. I've always wanted to start a business like this.
I don't know though.
I was picturing
Oh,
it being like Pacific Science Center or something like that.
Well, that would be
That's too
sick.
fun.
Yeah.
I was kind of picturing
Yeah.
it like an escape room or something like that. That like, an escape room set in Egypt. You've got to learn about Egypt in order to get out of the room. In theory, I mean, obviously that's not how most escape rooms work. You don't have to learn anything about Egypt.
I love that you're taking it away to make it fun already. You're
But-
taking this seriously.
I like that for the kids' party too. Okay, we're gonna lock you in this room. If you don't learn about pharaohs and pyramids, you don't get out.
You're trapped in this
Happy
tomb
birthday.
forever.
All right, the place is called Snapology. If anyone wants to look it up later, and
Ooh,
see
yeah.
what their day job is. I didn't
I
get that
definitely.
far.
That's even judging by the name, I can't tell what their vibe is.
Do you have anything?
You know?
or-
Yeah, so I have a little quiz. I forget the name of all the segments we decided. Oh, I know what it's called. Where in the world?
Oh no.
So I'm going to give you three. I mean, if anyone gets this, like, be proud of yourself. It's not like you should be able to get this. I have 3 random ass facts, and I want to see if you can guess what country it's about. So I have a few.
Am I playing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, so I say just shout it out. Like, if 1 or 2 clues in, you think you know it, go for it. Okay, so where in the world is this country? Okay, so I'm already giving you a hint with the first one. It's a European country, and it has the longest work week in all of Europe at an average of 45 hours a week. Okay, probably eliminating some for you.
I have a guess, but I'm not gonna say it yet.
The second one, from 1915 to 1989, beer was banned in this country, and now every year on March 1st, they celebrate Beer Day for when the ban ended. Third fact, 1 in 10 people from this country have published a book.
Wow.
Or will publish a book. I don't know.
Okay.
Or will?
Interesting.
Will, but I don't think that's true.
None have yet. But 1 in 10 are gonna.
All right.
Wow.
I'll throw out a guess.
Okay.
Vatican City.
Nope.
Ooh. Good with no beer. So no beer, 45 hours, and publish. I'm gonna go with. I really want to say Turkey.
Nope.
Do we have to guess?
Yeah.
Just make sure it's in Europe.
I know. I'm like, I've got to make sure it's a country. Like, Germany.
The answer is Iceland.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Who was closest geographically?
Wait. When was beer not allowed in Iceland?
1915 to 1989.
Because like the only thing I know about Iceland is that they're like the #1 drinkers and
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess they've really like caught up.
Wow,
since
Making
that's
up
then.
for
rough.
I mean, they have a beer day, so yeah.
And they have a long work week. Interesting.
Yeah,
I guess
right?
What else you gonna do?
That really surprised me. What else? I mean, literally
Be
anything.
cold and drink.
That sounds great compared to being at work.
Okay,
All right, do you guys
all
want
right.
another country?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We're on a roll. Keep them going.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this one. Okay. So this country is one of the very few countries in the world that has never had a McDonald's. Along with, I'll give you a couple others that haven't, so you'll know these aren't one of them. Ghana and Yemen have not had a McDonald's.
Wait, so this is the whole world.
So
We're
far.
not in Europe.
We're not in Europe anymore.
Yeah,
Or maybe we are. I don't
Right,
know.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Fact number 2, 95% of this country, they all have, or 95% of the population all has the same religion. I feel like I'm saying that weird, but you get it.
Yeah. Or they will.
I won't tell you which one. And third fact, this country has the only river in the world that flows both ways, depending on the season.
Ooh. Okay, so no McDonald's. 95%,
And never has had one.
And 95% of the same religion. And the river flows
Both ways, depending on the season.
Depending on the season.
What way does it flow each season?
Left or right? I don't know.
I'm going to say, why would they not have McDonald's, though?
I have an idea of why. I'm not going to say anything. But I still don't know the country.
I'm going to say Indonesia.
Nope.
I'm going to say Bhutan.
Nope.
I'm going to say India?
Nope. But you guys are, in the neck of the woods. The religion is Buddhist,
Okay.
but I won't make you do a second guess. The answer is Cambodia.
Okay.
Yeah, not too far off.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I have a couple more countries, but we can save them for another
give
day.
one more.
Okay. All right.
Can't end on a failure.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's see. Which one do I think you guys are more likely to get between the ones I have left? Let's go with...
And I'm kidding. We can't end on a failure, but do one more.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, we probably will. Sorry. Okay, so this country has the highest altitude city in the world at 11,975 feet. It has one of the world's largest butterfly sanctuaries with over 1,000 types of butterflies. And in this country, it's a common occurrence that people will dress up as zebras to help children cross the street.
It's the United States.
Wow, that last one threw me for a loop.
I can give you the name of the city, but I don't know if that's too
Yeah,
much
it's too
information.
specific. Okay, highest
Yeah.
city in the world. What are the other two?
One of the world's largest butterfly sanctuaries. These are some really out there ones for this one. And people dressed as zebras help children cross the street. And they help with the flow of traffic, too. But I think they're volunteers. So.
I am going to go with... Nepal.
Damn, that was my guess.
That was what
I was just going with the city.
Whoa, you guys were all
Well, just
thinking
because of
that?
the city.
The height.
Yeah. And no, that's not right.
Which is why Adam waited until I said it.
Damn, wait, Nepal? Why would anyone guess Nepal? You think there's a butterfly sanctuary in Nepal?
Dream on.
Do you have a guess?
I was gonna guess Nepal. I really was.
Peru is my second guess.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
My second guess was going to be somewhere in Africa, but I don't
I
really.
just know where there's tall.
Tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's Kilimanjaro.
Tanzania, I think maybe.
There you go, Tanzania.
Nope.
Madagascar,
I guess the
maybe.
zebras would make more sense in Africa, huh?
But they have streets. Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
not.
not.
Gabon.
Yeah.
Trying to be mysterious. No.
All right, now we're just naming
All
another
right,
country
the
on Earth.
answer is Bolivia.
Okay.
Oh,
Not
see?
an African country. Yeah.
I was getting there with
Yeah,
that.
you were.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't want to say close because they hadn't done their guesses yet.
Yeah, the
but
butterflies were putting me over there, but
All right.
that game is amazing.
It's fun.
Success.
No, I like it.
I'll name 3 random facts. You name 3 random countries.
Then we move on. All right.
else on
Do you guys have anything for us for Win Me Over? What the fuck?
Lower our standards.
Lower our standards?
We do, yeah.
We should do this everything where I'm trying to wrap it up, completely forgetting, and then you remind me that
Yes.
exists.
Love it.
It's a great
Love
way
it.
to. Okay, before we go, please lower our standards.
Do you want to go first?
All right. So mine's a bit of a choose your own adventure here.
Ooh.
So naturally, you know that I'm a music person.
Yes.
So I chose some songs that
Ooh,
I think
okay.
are guilty pleasure
Okay.
songs that either I think are either they're thought of as bad songs or they're thought of as cheesy songs, or at least you'll probably think of them as songs that are, why does he like that song? So I'm going to name 4 of them, and then you tell me which one you really want to hear
Yeah,
me.
which one we think you can't get us? Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
which
yeah,
one I
yeah.
hate the most, basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we got Summer Breeze by Seals and Crafts.
God, I hate that song so much.
We got
Bother me.
She Drives Me Crazy by Fine Young Cannibals.
Oh, bad, but not as bad.
Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba.
I actually love that
I'm
song.
indifferent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Kokomo by the Beach Boys.
Oh, I love that song.
That is literally by far my least favorite song.
I
I hate it so
I
much.
told
Let's
him-
do
I
that
told
one.
him.
Yeah, that's not really on the list. Madison wanted
No,
to.
because you like it, and I don't want to
Yeah.
hear someone
I do
trying
like
to
it.
Yeah.
justify
I just
that
love the Beach Boys.
atrocity.
Such
Yeah.
a Beach
Matt-
Boys.
So for
Matt-
me, it's easy. Summer Breeze. Do you even know that song though?
Would I recognize it, Madison?
Yeah.
Summer Breeze makes me feel.
Oh my god,
fine.
of course. Okay, yep, I'm with you. Yeah, let's do that one. I don't like that song.
Great, now we gotta clear the rights to that.
Okay, that was yeah.
No, it's always good. If it's
yeah.
under 30 seconds or something,
Yeah,
we're
yeah, yeah.
safe.
Yeah,
Okay, Summer Breeze.
I was not the one I was expecting to be chosen. So
Did you prepare anything?
yeah, I did. Okay.
What were you
So,
expecting?
I didn't realize that people like Tub Thumping that much. I was thinking
don't
that
like
that might
it, I
be,
just- it doesn't
or
trigger-
it doesn't trigger.
My
Okay.
mom
Horrible
played
things
it a
inside
lot,
me.
so I think that's part of why I like it.
Fair
too.
enough. Yeah. And I have to stress that all of these are still guilty pleasures. Like, I would never rank any of these as like my favorite.
Right.
Yeah. But all right. So I think what draws me to Summer Breeze personally, I love songs that kind of change between major key, minor key.
I don't know
Things
what that
going
means.
on. Like a major chord is something that I guess kind of sounds happier,
Oh,
like
okay.
the start of Tub Thumping, for example.
Yeah, and actually, I think that is kind of part of what I don't like about Summer Breeze is songs that feel happy and sad make me really depressed.
Yeah, and, like Summer Breeze is like, yeah, the lyrics are supposed to be very like kind of, I guess, carefree.
Breezy.
Like Summer Breeze makes me feel very relaxing. They're very cheesy lyrics. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a little bit of wavering between feeling happy and feeling wistful, I guess, if that makes sense musically. Like,
Yeah, and I don't like that, so
That's
you're
fair
not
enough.
convincing me.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to. If you literally don't like songs that like don't stay major or don't stay minor, yeah.
That's all it's got going for it.
I think that's a major thing it's got going for it. I think I think like the main thing about that song, though, I see it on lists of like worst and cheesiest songs of all time, and like compared to like the Seasons of the Sun and stuff like that of the world,
I think I like that song.
or Seasons in the Sun, whatever that.
Yeah, I think I like that one. So, what are some other
think-
songs that do the
to me-
major minor key thing to see if I like consistently don't like them or if there's some I like?
All right, let me think here. Put me on the spot. Okay, the song that probably I would say that Summer Breeze is a very poor man's version of Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty.
I don't know that.
It's the saxophone part's the one you know, like do 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 do.
Oh, yep, hate that. That's in
Yeah.
the same. Yeah. You know,
That
a
one's
couple-
that one's
give me a
got
couple
that,
more.
that one's got
I
major
think I just
verses and then
learned
minor.
To be able to explain why I don't like songs.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I also think, yeah, you're
But
beyond
you like
repair
ones
of
that
being
are
one
minor
note.
key.
Do you like any? Do you like
Probably.
Steely Dan in general? Okay, yeah. Steely Dan will throw basically any
If
chord
Steely
at you.
Dan did a cover of Kokomo, that would be like my head would explode on the horribleness of it all.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so
Yeah,
I
so-
don't, I
so
don't
no,
like
that-
songs.
You don't like songs that are. I mean, I think there's a genre thing going on here too as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, in general, you want your song to be happy from the get go,
Yeah.
or
Look at that.
angry from
See,
the get
now
go,
I
or
can say
wistful
that
from
at
the get go.
parties now.
Yeah.
Talk like I know about music.
That's what life is about. Is how can I
But
use
then,
this at a party?
yeah, what? I mean, Tub Thumping starts out happy and then it gets kind of quiet. when
Yeah,
they-
to me, I'm just
Isn't that
so
way?
indifferent.
Like,
Like, I just don't even
yeah,
pay attention to it.
that's
So
fair.
I definitely don't like that song, but
Yeah.
it doesn't like make me feel something.
yeah.
All right, Madison,
That is
you got,
fair.
You got something for us?
Wait, but in terms of if he changed, he obviously didn't change Eric's mind.
Well, you didn't even really know the song.
No, I do. I just didn't know about the
Oh,
name.
you did once he did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I will say I don't like the song anymore now, but
You liked it before I started, and now you hate it.
I don't like it anymore. Not the
I was
word
like,
anymore.
wow, he really did a bad job.
But I have a new appreciation for it because we didn't have an established this. But I just feel like we've said mom and dad a couple of times. Madison is my sister. Adam is my brother-in-law. I have a new appreciation for it because I know that my brother-in-law loves it. So
Oh, I don't love it.
There we go. Okay, he likes it.
Oh, I don't even like. I
That's
talk.
it.
Yeah, no, I like it. I know. No, I like it. Pleasures are things that I
talk about that
vaguely
later.
tolerate.
Don't answer that.
Madison, what do you have?
Okay. My first thought, because he was talking about songs, so I was like, for me, it should probably be a movie, and it was Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. But I also just have Going to the Movies Alone.
So don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
It's not Adventures in Babysitting.
You already know I know that
This
movie.
is Christina
Yeah.
Applegate.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked it. So
Okay, so maybe you should
Do
do.
you like Going to the Movies Alone?
yeah.
I never have and probably never will.
Okay.
So win me over.
Okay. I have notes for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. All right, Going to the Movies Alone.
Well, wait, real quick though, we could have listeners
Yes,
who hate it.
true, fuck
You
me,
could
Eric.
explain.
It has like 36% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. So
let's do
go
that one.
defend it.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of our many listeners
Yeah.
like going to movies alone.
But Going to
Oh,
the
we should
Movies
figure out
Alone
popular
is
it
the
in
best.
Canada, so we can know.
Our target
it's
audience.
superior to going with people. I prefer to go alone. You get to have your own situation, and no one influences your opinion of the movie. Anyway, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead is really good. The whole thing sounds like somebody thought of a phrase, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, and was like, let me make a movie around this.
Like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you would never guess like what the movie's actually about after that, because about 10 minutes in, the babysitter dies,
Yeah.
and then the whole thing is about like these 5 kids having to like fend for themselves all summer because they don't have a babysitter, and Sue Ellen has to like get a job as like an executive assistant at a fashion company, and they're all just learning to be like responsible. So it's really satisfying because they go for their house is a mess, which I feel like the mom has some responsibility in that. It's kind of like, oh, the kids are bad, but it's like, well, what was she doing?
Right.
She's a single mom though, so I'll cut her some slack. She's visiting her boyfriend in Australia.
Oh.
That's why she's gone.
Wow. I don't remember all the
The
details.
babysitter is also cartoonishly evil for like no reason. You're like, what are this woman's motives? Because she acts friendly in front of the mom. So
So I said I like this movie, but it's been so long since I've seen it. This is great.
So you got, first of all, the cast: Christina Applegate, Josh Charles, David Duchovny, great cast. Second of all, introduced me to grunion, which is a type of fish. In the movie, he's like, "Want to go see the grunion run?" And I was like, "Who's running what?" And they're acting like you should know what that means.
don't know what that
It's
is.
like it's like fish breeding. It's like
Oh.
I don't know.
So you're just like thankful to have more knowledge about
yes,
fish. Okay.
It's an educational film.
It's always good when a movie can teach you about fish.
The film also introduced me to drag queens. I didn't know what they were before I watched it. Just last year. No. But the drag queens steal their car, and it doesn't pay off in any way. It's just supposed to be like,
Nice.
oh,
Yeah.
drag queens stole our car. I feel like this is going well. You guys think so?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really do.
I guarantee
I think
you,
you're being sarcastic,
If
but I
we
really
watch
do.
like Netflix rentals, it's gonna spike after this.
Yeah.
The whole movie is kind of about like fake it till you make it, which I kind of hate that because I'm not good at faking it. But like as an adult, you realize that's how you do it because she's a high schooler pretending to be an adult in the corporate world, and she just kind of like fakes her way through it and makes it work. And it's like really inspiring.
I feel like this would be a good Patreon extra as a
Yeah.
watch party for.
Oh, I could do a commentary.
Oh, I
Yeah.
would love that.
Yeah, we should do that.
It has some good quotes. You have "I'm right on top of that rose," which I have like artwork of that.
Nice.
Park it yourself, Metallica breath. And then there's also I love that one because I don't know what that's supposed to mean. And then "the dishes are done, man" is like a famous one, but I don't understand why that one is famous, but I still wrote it down. It also has a song from This Is Spinal Tap in it, which I really appreciated.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies.
Great
The
movie.
fashion, incredible. I believe it came out in like 1990. Good year. So it's like late 80s fashion. Sue Ellen's outfits are so good. And then
I remember that much.
Yeah, it's just like a satisfying film. It has growth of like all of the characters, and just seeing this house go from disgusting to really nice is great. And then you have the whole thing at the end where everything's going on, and like the finale is like, oh, we're doing this fashion show, and it's ridiculous. The ideas she comes up with are so stupid because the company she works for is like a uniform company, and she makes like these fancy uniforms that are hideous and no one would buy.
Yeah.
But it's a great idea in the movie. And then the mom comes home and she's like, what the fuck? And that's funny. And then the mom's like, wait, what happened to the babysitter? They're like, oh yeah, she's dead.
And can you remind me, spoiler for Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter Said, what happened to her body? Like, did the coroner know she died? Just the mom didn't know, right?
She dies in her sleep, and they take the body and they put it in a trunk and they leave it at like a funeral home.
Okay,
And
okay.
they have a note on it that says, nice old lady died of natural causes.
Okay, that rings a bell. Oh, man. Okay, listeners at home, I think a lot of you are about to pause this episode and go watch it.
It makes me want to watch
It's
it.
on
I think you
Hulu
convinced a lot of
currently.
people. I haven't seen it in a while, so I want to watch, but I won't watch it without you. I feel like I wouldn't watch it alone. Like I feel like we'd
nice.
Yeah,
enjoy
I feel like
that.
a watch party
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
happen for.
All right.
Extra features.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick though, because that made me think. I actually had this written down somewhere. So, movie alone is amazing. I do it all. I used to like just try. Like I try to find like a movie that's been out for a while, a Wednesday night, latest show, go by myself, and like I've had the theater to myself before. Other times there's like one or two other people.
Yeah.
Love it. But what do you think about like eating out alone? And I don't mean like fast food. Like, would you ever go to a restaurant, like a sit-down restaurant by yourself?
I have a pathetic answer to that because I would would want to be like watching something on my phone, so it would be pointless. Like I can't imagine just sitting there in a restaurant.
But even at that, would you do it?
Yeah, like I wouldn't be embarrassed or anything.
You wouldn't feel weird about it?
No. Me embarrassed?
I have eaten alone in a restaurant when I was like doing work stuff. Like when I was an auditor, I had to I audited like a clothing store, and I had to wait till they closed to go do like an inventory count. So I like ate at Red Robin alone. I think that's the only time I've done
That's
that.
borderline though. I'm more talking because to me it's not even so much about like, oh, I'd be embarrassed doing it. I just wouldn't think to do it. Like if I was like, hey, I'm gonna go eat when it's just me.
Yeah.
I kind of like self limit to a certain level of restaurant for no good reason, you know. But like I would still enjoy the food, but for me it's like you can only go to a nice restaurant if it's with like a social thing. Like I never even think about it.
Yeah, for me, that I wouldn't do it unless it was, it was like on a work trip or something, but not for the same reason as you. It's just because, like the thing I could do instead is be at home. And I would just way rather that. Yeah. So it's just like you said, like I'd want to be watching TV. Like there's just, I wouldn't see the point of it.
Yeah. I feel like, all right, this goes back, not to quite the leftovers question, but like there are definitely some foods that I think are way better like freshly prepared than on the drive home. Are there any though that would like be that way, that would be such that I would want to have them in the restaurant that badly, that aren't fast food? Like I like maybe like a Greek restaurant or something like that with like some of the flaming cheese and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like
that they do like that.
A lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, like, would there be a situation where there's anything that would possess me to eat alone for the value of having the food there? But I mean, offhand, I think I'd still generally prefer going home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anything.
Homebodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of an easy answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Easy answer. Good way to end it.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Outro music.
Over and out.
Still doesn't exist. Well, it's playing something. God, I wonder
Summer
what I'm
breeze.
playing there.
Is it into the headphones?
Summer breeze makes me
Wouldn't that be perfect?
I don't hear anything.
Lame.
All right, we gotta put some outro music.
Yeah. I didn't want to mention this because I think it works against selling seals and crofts, but they did get their start in the Champs, who are famous for tequila.
Oh.
They were not part of the studio act at that time, but they did kind of come up in that band.
The Champs.
Before.
The thing I love
Interesting
about
name.
that song are the lyrics.
Yeah. Have you ever done it at karaoke?
I've seen someone do it. It's funny the first time you heard of the bit, but like
I've never done karaoke. I've never got myself to get up and do karaoke.
Oh, should have done that as my guilty pleasure.
would you? Would
We
there
gotta
be
do a
scenario where you'd
Savannah.
want
She's
to?
like a karaoke star.
I could
you.
probably do it. I don't know.
Like you could do a hip hop song,
I
like
thought about doing like rap
Ice Ice
or something.
Baby.
Ice Ice Baby.
Ice Ice
Yeah.
Baby. I was like, that
Yeah.
could just be like my go-to. I could do
Yeah.
that, but like,
I will
like
say,
my
though-
singing, I feel like is so painful. It's like it's not even funny. Like, there's no point. I'm just
oh, but
hurting people.
that's true of more than half the people who go do karaoke.
That's the only reason. Like, I'm a really bad singer, but I am a great karaoke performer. I've been told by enough people that I feel comfortable saying that. But yeah, so I did Bust a Move once, which I know all the words to, so it felt like a slam dunk. But when you're up on stage and like kind of nervous and like moving around, I got really out of breath. That's the thing with rap songs is like when you're in the car singing along to it, you don't get out of breath, but like that was the one thing. But would you be more or less inclined to do it in front of like strangers at a bar versus like at a big family thing with like people you know?
Oh, definitely family thing would be easier.
Then we gotta get a scenario where you do it.
The Japanese style karaoke, like instead of getting in front of a big bar with strangers, you like get a small room
Yeah,
with
they
like
have more and more of those
That'd be a
places
fun
around here
cousin
now.
Yeah.
thing to do.
Oh,
Really
totally,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think I would still go rap. Like, I just feel like,
Yeah.
because I mean, I've heard the bad singers at karaoke, and I'm below even that, so I will spare people that.
I'm sure you're not as bad as you think, but I'll take your word for it.
We can keep talking.
Bye.
I just don't want to stop recording. When
Oh
we
no,
go to stuff.
I thought maybe the episode was over anyway, and that was just after
Is it-
math.
yeah, I'll put in like the outro music, but then we'll do the
Yeah, we're just like it's
bit,
slowly
like, the
fading,
false-
false
fading to
thing,
black.
yeah.
All right. Sorry, I feel like